Hey everybody, I'm Slags. Thanks for joining me. We got some breaking news. Last season, when Kirby Dach was injured again, the timeline for his return was the 2025 training camp. In September, we were told he'd be ready for camp. Training camp opens 6 weeks, maybe just a little under 6 weeks from now, and there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Dach and whether or not his knee will be fully rehabbed by the start of camp. It was broken yesterday. Well, I saw it yesterday by HFTV, and that is Kirby Dach is still in rehab phase of his knee surgery recovery. So this is kind of worrying, for the second line center job, and it kind of changes how the lineup's going to look if he's not ready. I've got this as well. The uncertainty around Kirby Dach's recovery gained traction after journalist Maxim Truman reported that the forward is still not fully recovered. So that they got an orthopedic surgeon to, I guess they asked him the question of what the timeline and all that is. And he said the general recovery window for a professional athlete after such a procedure is between 6 to 9 months. However, he added if it was a repeat surgery, which I believe it was, the recovery timeline could be even longer. So considering all of that, and it happened near the end of February, with the standard timeline, not for the second, like if it was a repeat, places his return somewhere between late August and November. Now, there's a chance that he could return in time for Montreal Canadiens season opener, but it's not guaranteed. It's far from that. And it'll depend on when he can start skating and how his knee responds, leading up to training camp. So we're going to see. So what does seem almost certain is that Kirby Dach will not be competing for the second line center role to start the season. It's a huge disappointment for the team and fans, and I'm sure more so for Dach himself because he just, constantly seems to get injured. Now, Dach is currently in Edmonton with Habs defenseman Caden Gooley, and he's rehabbing his knee, and he's been spotted at a local gym, lifting weights, but using less weight than, would be expected from an NHL player that's getting ready, for the start of camp after an injury. Apparently doing squats, and he's just not using the amount of weight that you would think. This is from Dans les coulisses. It's a Habs site. I was told yesterday that Kirby Dach is spending the summer in Edmonton with Caden Gooley. Now, Dach's from Saskatchewan. Gooley's from Alberta. So 5 months after his most recent knee surgery and around 40 days before training camp begins, Kirby Dach is still not recovered and ready to go. So, that it's not promising. It's really unfortunate to see Dach still battling physical issues. Somehow that's followed him from the very beginning of his career, even back to junior, because we still haven't seen his true potential. So he's currently working out in the gym. He's not 100%, and he's in the rehab process. Now, there is still 6 weeks to go, until training camp opens. So there's time, I guess, for him if that's a miracle. But if he's not, I got to think at 6 weeks to go, and he's not lifting enough weight. And I'm no doctor, obviously, but it's worrying. It's worrying. Dach has been injury prone, as that said, his whole career from junior to the NHL. I don't think he's played a full season, even in junior, from what I read. And he continues to be so going into his final year of his contract. And for the fans out there, people that watch me, and have been telling me that he's injury prone, and I've been arguing back. I got to admit, I did not know that even in junior, he was injured all the time. So, he's injury prone. I don't know what else to say. He's in the final year of his contract. So, a season that will probably determine his future with Montreal and possibly his hockey future overall. So, if Dach will not be in the 2C spot for Montreal as next season opens, who'll be there? That's the $1 million question. And that's what no, not that's what I'm going to answer, because I don't know that I have an answer. But what is the answer to that, right? Montreal doesn't have a ton of options here. They made the playoffs last season, and they want to repeat this season. So it's unlikely they'll try to promote Jake Evans or Joe Veleno that high in the lineup and consider that the solution, because that's not. So ditto for Oliver Kapanen or Owen Beck, and definitely not further down on the depth chart, right? It's possible even well, I don't think Owen Beck's going to make the team out of camp anyway, and possible Oliver Kapanen doesn't. But you got to think with Dach being injured, he probably gives him a better shot, and maybe even Owen Beck, maybe, but not for the 2C. That leaves the option of making a trade. That might not be exactly what you want for the 2C, or trying harder to land Mason McTavish, which is the big rumor and everybody wants. I mean, I'd love to see them get Mason McTavish from the Ducks, or having newly acquired Zachary Bolduc compete with Alex Newhook for the spot. And we know that Bolduc has been in the offseason taking faceoffs. So working with Marc Bureau, who is their faceoff coach, definitely to me as an idea that he could win that job, right? We'll see. I don't think GM Kent Hughes panics here, though. I don't think he makes a rushed deal to acquire a 2C unless it's a guy that they are fully invested in and ready to go forward with. So I don't think they do that. Hughes is a patient guy. He's proven that. Gordon and Hughes, they've proven to be patient, and they don't make moves that aren't the right moves. And he said that they won't trade for someone they aren't fully committed to, and they won't trade valuable assets to get at like an older player with a bad contract. So the rumor of Calgary's Nazem Kadri, 4 years and $7+ million left. I don't think, you got to give up something to get him. I don't think that they're going to do that for Kadri. Too long. The term is too long and too much money, and it's going to cost you. So it might make someone like the Predators' Ryan O'Reilly, who I don't know what it would cost to get him, but he's only got 2 years at $4.5 million. I like that. Or Jared McCann, who I was talking about earlier before the offseason started. 2 years, $5 million. So, it's not a long commitment. I think that might come back into focus as solid options for the right price. I mean, they're not, like he said, he's not going to give up valuable assets for an older player. So these guys are older, and you're going to have to give up something. But, if you can make the right deal where it's not somebody that you don't want to trade, why not? Two good players. I'd like the Ryan O'Reilly option. I think that would be good for 2 years if they can do it. I don't know. And there's a rumor that Jared McCann from the Kraken, that they're willing to or looking to trade him. So he's available, apparently. I don't know about Ryan O'Reilly, but we did make a deal with the Predators to get Alex Carrier. Maybe you can swing another deal with him. I don't know. So were either of those two vets on Montreal's radar before? I don't know. Before the news on Dach. But now with the Dach news, maybe they're, like I said, they come back into focus, or they go, well, let's see what else is out there, and they might, I can't imagine they don't already know this. My thinking is that both Newhook and Bolduc will get a good look there, though, in camp. I don't really see them making a move here. When you have that option, you can take a look in camp, see how Bolduc looks, see if Newhook is better at that and has a little more chemistry with Demidov. And I guess Line is going to be on the other side. And then, and if neither wins the job, Hughes can look for a solution, via a trade. That's definitely not out of the question for him to make a trade in the at training camp. Teams do it all the time. It's happened here. Late trade like that, it might happen. I mean, isn't that when we got Monahan was in training camp? I think. I'm not sure, but I think. So with Demidov and Patrick Laine as the wingers on line 2, I don't feel Newhook at center can get the job done. They've done it before, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure Montreal would rather not have that as the option, that they feel that way too. We'll see how it works out in camp, but I really feel Bolduc is going to get a good shot. So that's my hope, is that Bolduc is able to step up into the role. I feel he should be able to work well with Demidov. From what I understand, a good skater, a good two-way game. So he sounds like a guy with potential. Everything I read about him is a guy with potential. So I feel he can step up into the role, and he should be able to work better with Demidov and defensively strong enough to sort of make up for some of Laine's defensive lapses. I'm just gonna be nice. His deficiency, I wrote, actually, in that department. If he can, and he can hold that spot for this season at least, right? Or until they find a better option, right? Maybe at the start of the season it is Bolduc, and somehow, early in the season they work out a deal and get a guy like O'Reilly or like McCann. That could happen. At least step up and be that guy, and that would be awesome, I think. Or until, because we know that Michael Hage just did really well at the World Junior Showcase thing they had. High praise from Dale Hunter, I believe the coach there, right, for that. So Michael Hage is going to arrive probably at the end of the season when his college season is over. He's probably going to sign his ELC. And then he'll join Montreal or Laval. So that, a placeholder for that, Bolduc might be the guy. So if they feel neither Newhook nor Bolduc is ready for that, we may see a training camp trade. As I said, a trade that, at that point, we'll probably bring in an older vet. Like, I don't see them finding the guy that they want to go forward with at second line center in a late training camp trade. I don't see that. So we'll probably see an older vet like O'Reilly or McCann. And that's good veteran leadership. O'Reilly, I don't know a ton about McCann. Seen him out there, seen him with the teams he's played, but I know a lot more about O'Reilly, and I think that could be a really good, solid fit here. I don't know if he wants to come here or not, and whether he's got no movement stuff. I don't know, but I like that. So, and that's a good thing it's still a young team, the youngest team in the league still. So adding a guy like O'Reilly could be good. And it's just a placeholder for Hage. Gives Hage a little time, right? If O'Reilly comes in 2 years, Hage doesn't have to be rushed into that second line center, which you kind of don't want to anyway. So that might be the right move to make. We'll see. I trust in what Hughes is going to do, that's for sure. So we'll see. And it could be someone else other than Hage. Hage could end up being a winger, but I feel he's going to be a center on the second line here for Montreal. He's really looking great in his development. So, high praise from a guy like Dale Hunter, who, that's high praise. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with all that. And let me know what you think in the comment section. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed my op-ed pieces. Basically, that's what it is. And really, let me know what you think are the options for Montreal, to go out and get. I've got O'Reilly and McCann as two options. What do you think? You guys might have different players out there that I'm not thinking of. So let me know about that in the comment section. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out. Thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate it. And hey, check out that link on the bottom for some merch and a hat. I'm wearing the shirt from one of the pods, and check it out. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Till next time. Ciao, everybody. I really appreciate it.